Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Host Show. We are your ghost hosts, Wes
and Jenn.
And it is a brand new year. It is 2015. Yeah. It almost feels like it's back in 2014, but you know it's not. How was your New Year's, Jenn?
Wonderful. It was a blur. How about you?
I know. I must have drank so much I don't even remember it.
It's hard.
A lot of Cinnamon Toast Crunch Teenies, I guess. So.
On Wes's part, not mine.
Yeah. We have a lot of new stuff coming for the HitchHiking Host Show. It's going to be good. So everybody stay tuned. We'll have some announcements soon. Just like Drake, we started from the bottom, now we're here. Start the show! Well, to kick off the new year, we are going to start off with a top 5. And we've done a few top 5s in the past. This week we're going to be doing top 5 Disney restaurants. And yeah, these are, now we did bucket list restaurants before. Let's not get these confused. These are the restaurants we have eaten at. So let's kick it.
Be good with mine. And I have all sorts of restaurants on my list. Number 5 is Cosmic Rays. And not because of the food. I like the location. And it's actually one of my hiding spots before they enclose the terrace. I like sitting there watching the electric light parade without actually being stuck in the traffic of the hub. So, I mean, the food is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not the best food you'll get at Disney. It's good for counter service.
And there's Sunny Eclipse.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Listen to your things, my name is Sunny Eclipse.
Well, that's more than I know.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to listen to him a couple weeks ago, so it was worth it. Number 4, one of my favorite places, and I'm tortured Wes into going here, is the Harbor House, the Columbia Harbor House. Again, I like the location. I like going upstairs because it gives you like a nice little quiet moment away from the madness. Well, the sometimes madness of the Magic Kingdom. And I like that you can sit there and you can kind of watch the river, you can see Haunted Mansion, or you can just sit there and watch the Rapunzel bathrooms if you feel so inclined.
You can watch people going to the bathroom.
Well, I mean, to be fair, at night it is really pretty. I do like Rapunzel's bathroom, but that's another topic for another day.
That's a whole other episode.
That's a whole new episode. But no, I do like it. I like their fish stick and chicken nuggets, chicken tender combo deal. I know I made you try that. My favorite. But, I don't know. I just like the atmosphere. Number 3, and I always pronounce this, and I know I've said it before, I say it as Caucasian as I possibly can, because I know if I try to say it in Spanish, I would butcher it. San Angel Inn in Mexico, which I do believe it's Angel, but I know I say it wrong. So, the San Angel Inn in Mexico. Again, I like the atmosphere to it. I went there one year for my birthday with a couple of my friends, and the food was awesome, and I just like the atmosphere. I like the idea of sitting outside on a quote-unquote Mexican night at twilight. I think it's beautiful. It's just, you can't really beat the atmosphere. Number 2, again, going back in previous shows, I've mentioned that my favorite resort is the Polynesian. So number 2 is Kona Cafe. I've actually never been there for breakfast. I know people highly recommend the Tonga toast, but I went there for lunch, again for my birthday. There's a pattern here. I went for my birthday, and the food was probably some of the best I've had. That, and it was at the Polynesian, and again, you can people watch on that second floor of the Polynesian, so I like it. Any excuse to hang out the Polynesian without having to pay for the room rates, fine by me. Number 1, and I say it wrong, but I don't care. Le Cellier. It was probably some of the best food I've ever had in Epcot, Canada. Again, we went for one of my friend's birthdays. Told you there's a pattern here for some of these restaurants. I have never had so much food in my life, but it was amazing. We got the petite filet mignon, which is not something I normally order. Normally go for like a sandwich, but it was worth it. And I don't know. The waiter the waiter introduced himself as being our Canadian for the evening. So right then and there, I was sold. And we kind of played a game with him, trying to get him to say, like, a boot. But we heard him at the other table, and he's like, oh, sorry. His Canadian accent. I was sold. I like Canada, and the food was amazing. We had some of, like, the best Riesling I think I've ever had in my life. So the food, 2 thumbs up, highly recommended. That's my top 5. I didn't even think about it, so we'll say honorable mention goes to Be Our Guest because it totally slipped my mind. I don't know how, so thank you, Wes. I do love Be Our Guest. I grew up with Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. The whole new Fantasyland makes me emotional. It gives me goosebumps, makes me, like, shed a couple tears here and there, and that's not easy to do. But Be Our Guest, I can't say enough good things about. We ate in the ballroom, and again, the food was awesome. We got seated pretty much right away, and they bring you in carrying a little chandelier, like Lumiere, and it was just, I don't know, I just love it. I want to go there again. So yes, honorable mention goes to Be Our Guest. That probably would be tied with number 1 had I thought about it 20 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago.
Well, knock one out.
Oh, good. But then I'd have to redo my whole list, and then I'll have to edit everything out.
Yeah.
So.
Just say it's a tie.
All right, so Be Our Guest is a tie for number 1.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Okay, my top 5 Disney restaurants I've eaten at. Number 5 is Le Chefs de France. I had some sort of chicken dish. I don't exactly remember what it was, but it was good. And
could you pronounce it?
No.
Okay.
So I'm like, I had the waiter. I'm like, I'll take this. And he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yes. But I really like the creme brulee there for dessert. Dining plan, of course, for that one. The atmosphere was nice. You know, it was a nice restaurant. I like Epcot restaurants, so it was nice to go to the France one. I took French for 3 years in high school. A little unknown fact. So I didn't learn how you order that menu item.
Like, clearly you didn't learn that much.
I knew how to say I don't know when the teacher called on me. So, I don't know. All right. But yeah, Le Chef de France is cool. Number 4 is, I have a just self-promotion, shameless plug for me. I have a new song coming out about this restaurant in the next few weeks. It is the 50s Primetime Cafe. I think it is a great experience. The food is pretty good. I like the food. I had a few different things over there. I think I've eaten there 3 times in my life, 4 times possibly. So I'm a repeat customer there, mostly because of the wait staff. It is very funny. They pretend like they're your aunt or uncle or cousin or whatever, and tell you to get your elbows off the table. They tell you to eat your green beans and all that stuff. They make you stand in the corner if you don't do certain stuff. It's always funny. And also, I really like the dessert. It is a brownie sundae with like caramel popcorn on it. It's crazy. It's got like M&Ms. It looks like something like you would make in like one of those Frozone, not Frozone. That's a character from The Incredibles, but one of those Yogo. There we go. Wow, yogurt places. But yeah, Primetime Cafe, definitely worth checking out in Hollywood Studios. My number 3 is at the Beach Club, the Cape May Cafe. I've actually eaten there 3 times. Twice in one vacation, surprisingly. The first 2 times were out of this world. The buffet, that was back in 2011. Some great buffet items. You know, you got seafood, meat, pretty much anything. A very good, nice dessert. Just the ambiance of the whole beach club is awesome. The last time I was there, I didn't think the selections were as strong, but I still thought it's an awesome restaurant. Hopefully, if I go back next time, it'll be more like the first 2 times and not as much as the last time. But hopefully, it's gone back to how it was. My number 2, this is strictly all for ambiance, the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. The food itself, now I haven't been there in many years, but the food itself is good. I mean, it's comparable to the like Applebee's or TGI Fridays. It's not out of this world food, but the whole eating in a table that's like a car with a giant dine-in, drive movie screen, and it's like you're eating in the dark and at the movies. Obviously, I'm the movie guy. I love the idea of that. Even though the food isn't, A+ quality, it's an awesome experience. And my number one is gonna sound very familiar, because Jen just talked about it. It is Le Cellier. There is no way it would not be my number one. If anyone paid me, don't say Le Cellier. I'll say not taking your money. Le Cellier is my favorite restaurant in the world, and not just Disney World, the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's good though. It's worth it.
Yeah. Well, see, I've been there twice. Once when I was back in 2000, and then the last time in 2012 with the dining plan. It's 2 dining credits, but believe me, it's worth the 2 dining credits if you have the dining plan. Just eat somewhere cheap one night. You'll thank me. I had some sort of steak. I don't remember exactly. I think it was the New York strip steak. It is just out of this world food. Just anything. I had the cheddar cheese soup, which I got during the Food and Wine Festival to make it like I had a little taste of Le Cellier. And even like the Food and Wine Festival, soup blew me out of this world. So, and just anything you could order there is absolutely fabulous. So, Le Cellier, my favorite restaurant ever. That is my top 5. Now, for this week, our main discussion topic, we're going to talk about a newer ride in the Magic Kingdom. This ride was so hot last year, it was on fire! Literally, we're going to be talking about the 7 Dwarfs Mine Train.
Look at this massive crowd. fun, right?
One of the newest and most exciting rides in Magic Kingdom is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The steel roller coaster lives inside of the new Fantasyland expansion. It's the newest ride inside the park. It first opened to the public on May 28, 2014. The ride is based off the 1937 film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is also the first animated film from Walt Disney.
Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom underwent one of the largest expansions in Disney World history. Construction began in March 2010 and was completed with the opening of the Mine Train in 2014. The predecessor to the Mine Train was Snow White's Scary Adventures. It closed permanently on March 30th, 2012. In its place now is the Princess Fairy Tale Hall, where guests can meet the princesses, such as Elsa and Anna.
Oh!
The new area, themed after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, features Snow White's cottage as well as the Mine Train. It was dedicated on May 2nd, 2014, and officially opened May 28, 2014 to the public.
The queue features several interactive activities to keep children of all ages entertained. One game features 12 spigots called Musical Spigots. It's a gem washing station with wooden taps carved on woodland animals. Okay, each spigot represents a note of the chromatic scale. Another game is a gem sorting game. Match up the jewels by their color. Also, there's kaleidoscope barrels to play with. They're full of gems that you can spin to create a kaleidoscope image on the ceiling of the cube.
Mine Train is similar to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Splash Mountain in that it travels indoors and outdoors throughout the course of the ride. Mine Train was designed to be a family-friendly roller coaster, but I still won't go on it. It features cartoonist architecture and enchanting scenery. Throughout the course of the ride, guests find themselves traveling alongside the beloved Seven Dwarfs on their way to just another day of work in the coal mines.
The Mine Train is unique in that it features a new ride system in which the swaying and tipping that would accompany a ride in the mine cart is simulated with new technology called tilting vehicle.
For fans of the Snow White movie, the ride will not disappoint. You can hear songs from the film featured in the attraction. Naturally, they included Hi Ho. Some of the audio animatronics have been reused from the Snow White's Scary Adventures attraction. In the final scene, you'll hear and see Doc, Happy, Sleepy, Grumpy, and Bashful performing their yodel song. The windows inside the cottage are partially obscured, so it's hard to see the aging figures. On a mining structure at the beginning of the ride, you'll see two vultures perched. These are also nods to the previous Snow White attraction.
One of the best souvenirs to buy while on vacation at Walt Disney World are the on-ride photos. Mine Train does not disappoint in that category. The ride features 2 on-ride cameras. With this, the guests will be provided with videos and pictures to buy through the PhotoPass system. The only other ride at Disney World to provide videos is the Tower of Terror. However, unlike the other rides with on-ride cameras, there are no monitors to view the pictures and videos at the end of the ride. There was also no store at the end to buy the pictures in either. So definitely check it out in Magic Band. All right, Jen, what do you think of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train?
Well, I call myself far from an expert. It's the best ride I've never been on. I don't know. I'm still working on going on it. So go ahead, Wes. You can talk about it.
I thought Spider-Man was the best ride you've never been on.
I've been on all the rides. I love all my rides that I've never been on equally. No, I mean, I like it. I like the idea. I'm glad they finally updated Snow White, or gave Snow White something more updated than the Scary Adventures. It needed it, especially for a ride so important to Disney history, such as Snow White. I know I've seen some of the on-ride videos, and those are always interesting, and I have stood by that big drop hill and watched, and it looks fun. What?
I'm trying to remember the big drop hill.
Well, it's probably not big.
I don't even really remember it. That goes into... Huh?
It's probably not big to you, but to me.
No. That goes into my thinking. I like some of the ride. I liked It would surprise me that it starts right out of the gate. As soon as you don't even expect it, you just go woo, and I'm like, oh, thanks, because I don't have my camera on while I was videotaping, so I missed like the first few seconds. And I think I even yelled out of the camera. I'm like, first few seconds are missing. I like that. The ride itself, I think I talked to a lot of people who actually really liked it, so I was expecting a lot more than I actually got. I think I don't know. I think people overhyped it to me maybe, and I was expecting this awesome thing, and it's sort of like a kiddie ride. The ride itself on a thrill level, if I have to go from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, I'd say it's a thrill level of 2. Yeah, I know. And Mandy told me that, if you sit in the back, it's like a death trap. I had sat in the back, and I was thrilled that I sat in the back, but I really didn't even get a thrill from that. So what I did really like is the animatronics. You can tell they're the newest up-to-date animatronics in the park. I really love the Dopey and the minecart with the eyes, with the gems in his eyes, and all the dwarves. I really like the dwarf part. And then, it's just sort of like it was over in like a few minutes, and it was like, that was it? It's like a minute and a half ride. But I really like the dwarves. And then I like the end where you pull up to the cottage and you see Snow White and the dwarves in the cottage, and then you go by and you see the evil queen. Everyone's like, hey, it's the old hag. I didn't even get to check out the queue, so that was news to me. I knew they had some cool stuff in there, but I didn't know what, because I did the Magic Band Fast Pass, and that was a whole nother story. For that whole story, go to my trip report. But yeah, I mean, I like the Dwarfs Mine Train. I only went on once because I only had one Fast Pass for it throughout the vacation. I think it's overrated, to tell you the truth. I don't think it was as good as everyone makes it out to be. And that's me, I would not wait more than 25 minutes for that ride. So that's why I did not go again. It was more exciting for me to meet all 7 of the dwarfs, to tell you the truth. But I think maybe because I held it so high that it was going to be an awesome experience, and it was just sort of like, It was sort of like, it was a little more exciting than the Barnstormer for me, So I'll go on again, but I wouldn't wait 45 minutes to an hour for it. I would for other rides, but not that. But that being said, I liked it. I didn't love it. All right, well, that does it for this week's episode. Jen, you want to tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at JenMia83.
Okay. And of course, you can follow our other hitchhiking host, Mandy, at Mandy Disney on Twitter. And you can check her out on Flickr, Storybook Princess. As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at WesAList. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/westside515. As for our hitchhiking host links, follow us on Twitter at HitchHostShow. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Check out our Instagram page at HitchHostShow on Instagram. And of course, subscribe to us right here on YouTube, youtube.com/HitchHostShow. Until next time, don't forget to
hurry back
for another episode.
Be sure to bring your death certificate.